Guys, welcome back to Grandmaster to Asia stage, Rapid and Blitz, and the final day of Rapid happened yesterday. While you're watching this video, they will be starting Blitz event, but for now I'll analyze 3 games played by Fabiano Caruana because he won all of them. So first game he plays Spanish Rail Lopez with black pieces, Bishop c5. This is Archangel variation, the line he created a chessable course on, so you can go and check it out. b5, bishop b3, d6, d4, bishop b6, a4, bishop b7, rook e1, knight e7. Very interesting move, basically attacking on e4, steal this bishop, let's say if takes. I mean, there is some sort of counterplay after knight e4, even though computer thinks it's actually good for white after simple bishop e3. Maybe it is, I haven't checked the lines, I can't really say it, because I know those evaluations are a bit off. Bishop a7, this takes, bishop d4, but it looks like all legit. c5, queen f3, castle, knight d2. Knight c6, queen f4, knight a5, bishop c2, knight c6, returns back. Now maybe go for queen e7, knight e5. This is what I would probably play, this, or queen c7, knight e5. I would just make sure I put some pieces on e5. This queen c7, knight g3, knight e7, so he prefers different way. He decides to reroute this knight from c6 to g6, but as we will see, that won't happen because Maxim Vashilagraf strikes in the center and plays e5, after which position becomes action problem for white pieces. Rook e8, knight d3, queen c6, basically threatening checkmate here, queen f3, and now, you know, this pawn is very bad, the pawn structure is weak, so Fabi doesn't spend time taking this pawn because again there is this, knight c5, so first he plays c4, after knight c5, bishop f3, he takes the pawn, rook e3 is played, bishop g4, I mean, white will take this pawn whenever they want. Thus, knight d5 takes, and now still, you know, there are some possibilities of, let's say, this, and let's say do something stupid, not taking on f6, rook e1 will be checkmate, so that doesn't happen. Thus, h6, knight d6, rook b8, knight f5, bishop g4, knight d4, b4, f3, b takes c3. Brilliant move, and you can wonder why. Basically the idea is here black sacrifice a piece, but unfortunately for white pieces, now knight e3 this has been threatened, so let's say king e2, you know, get rid of this, but now knight b4, and we're attacking this, let's say rook goes back, I mean it can't go anywhere, so after bishop b1, knight a6 takes, there is rook e8, this, knight b4, and rook a1 wins the game, because basically we'll promote and we'll be up in exchange, and extra, you know, 2 pawns. So that's of course winning, takes, knight d3, trades the pieces, and now we get the following endgame where Fabi is up a pawn, and he has no troubles converting it. He takes another pawn, and here basically the game ended pretty soon. Yeah, rook d4, knight f2, very quickly, brought the king to the center. Let's just scroll till then, takes, sacrifice in exchange, and now c2, but it was all calculated, because basically after rook c6, you know, what can be played is just knight b4, let's say rook c5, king d4, doesn't matter, rook c4, and there is c1, rook c1, knight d3, and basically, you know, we take this back and we're up a piece, so this is of course winning for black pieces. Let's move to the next game where Fabi played Anish Giri, and we see another chessable course, and now from Anish in his favorite knight, and here interesting queen d3 is being played. I'm pretty sure Anish is analyzing this line in his course, but again, you know, I might check the lines afterwards, but you know, knight b7 looks like a right move. So let's skip the opening part of it. So basically, you know, Fabi double flanked out his bishops, and he got a worse position. Honestly, like, this structure for white doesn't seem right, because again, knight jumps to c5 or e5, you know, potential e5 break. So, and also some weaknesses on c-file. I mean, I can't really say that it's good for for white pieces. Queen f3, e5, knight f5, knight 6, this, and it all seemed right, even though right now, you know, basically Fabi has 2 bishops advantage, and after, let's say, queen c2, let's say he takes the pawn. Now bishop a3, and basically this pawn will be lost, because basically here rook d6, but again, you know, I think Kanye should have gone for this line. Maybe he just didn't go for it. He decided not to take, he went knight f8. And now, you can't even imagine, in next 13 moves, the position is completely equal. Anish will collapse. Queen c3, offering queen trade, rook d2, queen d8, rook d1. Anish doesn't want a queen trade. Queen f3, b5, takes, open a file. And at this point it seemed like, alright, Anish had no problems, and you know, he'll probably make a draw in this position. Look at this hole on f4 for black knights. Yeah, I mean, white can potentially go here, but there is always g6, but here, if knight goes to f4, it's actually very bad. Knight g3, rook a2, kind of, I mean, I can't say it's a mistake, it's a very logical move. Bishop c3, knight f4, knight f5, and here after queen g5, you know, the position would have been, I mean, again, you know, chess.com, as you can see, I mean, it changes its mind every single move. So I can't really say if it was good or bad. Knight g2 was played, king g2, d5, you know, basically it was all logical. But unfortunately for Anish, he missed some resources for white pieces. So d5 was actually wrong. I mean, and here, unfortunately, like, I'm not sure why do you need to trade this bishop off the board. But basically queen g5 is the only good move according to the computer. But, I mean, again, let's say rook d6 takes, rook d6, and now there is rook c2. And now he takes, and now rook d8, knight f8. But again, bishop b5, and, you know, computer is just crazy on chess.com. So that didn't happen. Knight h2 takes, d5 takes, it all looked more logical, but unfortunately king h2, it turns out that this pin is so powerful that basically Anish can do anything. He's just, it's so useless here, because whatever move he makes, he still lost. This bishop b5, basically now knight f5, queen f5, or there is even rook d, yeah, I mean, not queen f5, even though it's winning, because we're attacking this, but rook d5 instead, because after queen d5, knight d7, knight d5 wins the queen. So this, and now almost final bishop g3, h6, queen a7, and look at this d file. So basically black can't do anything. Rook 7 doesn't work because there is bishop, there is queen, so it's lost. I mean, queen f8 it loses due to rook d5, up a piece, nothing can be done. Knight e7, again, can even play rook d5, something, you know, really interesting and beautiful. So yeah, just like that, Fabi won his second game of the day, and in the last one, Fabiano Caruana and Kukish Tamaraju, two players who were competing against each other on recent candidates, and the player with white pieces got a bit more luckier. He showed his great resilience and will be competing in the World Championship match this November. Takes, we have Rogozin defense on the board, knight 5, and again here, Fabi got a good position, and what I noticed in this tournament, I mean, that's, okay, Gukesh plays with white pieces, but he generally doesn't get huge advantage right away from the opening. Like, some players try to basically press, but he is playing some dubious opening most of the time, and doesn't get good position. Knight d3. The idea here is that after bishop d3, there is g6, and basically, oh, that's what happened in the game. Queen f3, rook d3, rook d8, double rooks on d file, and now he definitely has some advantage. Even though, again, here, you know, I would doubt that strong champs would lose, but you will see the mistakes, of course, at some point coming up. Knight b2, bishop f6, knight c4, b5, knight a5, queen c5, king g2, king g7. Oh, I'm so tired. So tired of talking. It's hard. Knight c3, this, b4, and again, position looks like a draw. Knight c4, and you know, one can say how one can lose this position, like let's say with white pieces. Like it just doesn't seem right. Like look, the pawn is in the center, you know, this knight on c4 looks great. Okay, this knight potentially attacking pawn on e2, but it's nothing. a4, bishop d4, and after queen d3, you know, computer says you can see the evil bar, and you can see the valuation. I mean, it's lost for black pieces, knight a2, and here. So, very, very easy tactic. I'm not sure what have been missed, but after this, there is queen d1 or queen c4, and I think, I mean, everything is pretty good. Maybe, you know, Cookie just didn't see it, but he had 1 minute while Fabi had 30 seconds left. Queen c2, knight c3, f3, knight d5, great move. Now this, and basically the spin is so powerful that, you know, we'll take the piece back, and you know, if, you know, why do random move, there is d takes c4, queen c4, this b3, and pawn promotes. So bishop f2, knight b6, there is pin here, so can't take. So the easiest here to make a draw is probably just take and take, right? And that's exactly what happened. c5, queen f2, queen c3, queen f2, and basically here, you know, Fabi started strong counterplay with this b passed pawn. This, knight a4, and this, knight c5, he took all the pawns and now he's ready to push. Knight e3, basically queen c3, this c2, c1 promotes, up a piece, this, queen a1, basically queen d3, queen a1, checkmate, so all the threats are on time, and Gugish has to go back, queen b2, king h1, knight a5, now this, so queen has to go back, b3, this, queen c2, queen d4, b2, and here Gukesh admitted his loss, because basically after queen f5, king h7, there is nothing can be done about this pawn. Pawn either promotes or the queen has to sacrifice itself, and you know, this knight will be lost on the next move. Anyways, so Fabi is on fire. After 3 days of Rapid, I'll show you the final table. Fabi is 3 points ahead of Wesley So, who is second with 12 points, Ivan Aronian third, Alireza fourth, Jan fifth, and we have Ivan Šarić last. As of now, we'll have 2 days of Blitz, so let's see how those goes. Again, I'll see you in the recaps of those in the next couple of days. Bye bye.